Y'all looking for me? Yeah, I'm late. Y'all looking for me? What? Here I is. Hey. Here I is. Yes, sir. Here I is. Yeah, buddy. All right, y'all. I'm late, but I'm here, and I just want to tell y'all one thing. One thing and one thing only. Human beings in a mob. What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? Will it make it out alive? All right. No church in the wild. Ain't no church in the wild, baby. What's good? I was listening to that before I started. So it was on my mind. But what's going on? It's about to go down. Got 6 bottles of Chris and all that good stuff. Y'all remember that shit. But hey, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that y'all here. Thank y'all for starting, clicking that like button. Let's get it started. I got some stuff that I want to show y'all, and I got some stuff that I want to talk about because I feel like nobody's like talking about this. So let me dive right in. But before I do that, my favorite part of the show. Go ahead, baby. Tell us what we need to know.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism,
That's right.
news reporting, teaching, and parody, which
And
doesn't
parody.
infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C.
Yes,
107.
indeed. Speaking of parody, I got to tell y'all something. Look, y'all know the video I did about the dude from that did the whole what is the show called? God damn, what is the movie? The John Q dude. The dude I did talking about he was like John Q at the hospital. He was talking about the Dallas rappers ain't doing shit. They ain't on shit. They ain't giving out no food or nothing. That dude actually commented in my chat on my video. He was like, "You really not that funny, bro." That shit was funny. He was like, "You really not that funny, bro. But if you want to talk about it, we can." I was like, "Cool, hit me up." So I told him that, hey, I had all day today that was free, and I said, "Hey, hit me up. I'm usually available in the evening." So shit, who knows? He just might call or be able to come on the show, and we could talk about the wild shit he did. But either way, and then he also commented and said, "I got more views than you though. Laugh out loud." Yeah, but your subs ain't on shit and your views ain't that much higher. And you only got a handful of videos up. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not petty like that. But that shit was funny. I was quite surprised that he commented on my shit. And man, bro, if you watching, which you probably are at some point or another, you'll probably see this. Hit me up, man. Let's talk about what you did and why you did it. I love to hear from you and just have a conversation with you, man. It'd be all good. Appreciate you. But other than that, let me give a shout out to the first person in the chat, which is none other than my man Skoha making a comeback. I see you, bro. I see you. Also want to give a shout out to my man Ronald Hot Boy. What's up, people? My man Roy Green. What's happening? My brother from another mother, Eric Easy E. Abrams. What's up, bro? He said African Americans are hit hard because we don't take care of ourselves. So when shit hits us, it hits us hard. You are very true. What's up to my cuz? What up, Wes? In the house like furniture. My nigga. Love you, cuz. Also, too, I don't know if I did or not, but I want to extend my condolences, man, for your loss, man. Also to Natalie V. What's happening? Champ Day. Steven, what's up, man? Unc, where you been? So who is to blame for these statistics, may I ask? I'll wait. Hey, got some good ones for you too. We'll see. Bruce Taylor, what's up? Sean Mixman, John Nothing, what up? Big Mo, my man, what's going on, broski? Lorenzo Davis, what's happening? John Nothing, Papa Cap, Tracy Quick, what's good? G Friend 94, always there. Appreciate you. Moses Kane, Kevin Hutton, what's up? That beat, hey man, my man V City. VCityBeats at gmail.com. Hit him up. That brother is dropping fire. Shout out to the aristocrats, AOC and them 1153. What it do? Yeah, buddy. And no, I'm not talking about Ocasio, Ortiz, Cortez, Diaz, Hernandez, Felipe, Rodriguez. I am not talking about her. Yeah, but also my man Chuck 1823 coming through, showing some love. Appreciate that. Joy Chit Chat, what's happening? Triz 313 was it 313 or 3113 313 Triz? I'm just fucking with you. Let's see. CJ Gunn, what's happening? Let's see who else. DJ Matt, what up? Lamont Ellis, what's good? CJ Gunn, what it do? Seventh Dragon, finally, that came in the show. Seventh Dragon is one of my long lost friends, and he back. I appreciate y'all. Miss you, brother. He said in my road runner voice, ahoy, ahoy. Ahoy, ahoy. What's up, bro? And GY Sergeant, U.S. Marines retired. What's up? Thank you for your service, bro. Angry Man, what it do, my brother? And Shannon Lewis, what's up? We all in the house. Click that like button, click the subscribe button, and let's get into this. So, the first thing I need to do, which ain't nobody reminded me of as of yet, is put the chat up on the screen. Y'all know I be forgetting shit. I am just terrible at this. But when y'all get this channel blown up to where I got millions of subs, I'll have a production team that would do this stuff for me. That's what we got to get to. So this is really y'all fault. Y'all need to be promoting me more so that I can get out of here more. That's the problem. See, now they go to chat right there. I'm sitting here reading the chat and shit, and everybody commenting, we talking and shit, and all this stuff, and ain't shit on the screen. Boy, I tell you, that's what I do, though. Get your ass out of here, Skull. All right. Look, let's do this. Let's get on in here. Wait, let me get myself situated. I need to be in the center. Yeah, prepare as I enter the center. They sent me to a level 3 yard. That's why I stayed late night. I hear toothbrushes scraping on the floor. Niggas getting their shanks just in case the war pops off. But you can't tell what's next. My little homie, baby boo, he took a pencil in his neck. And he probably won't make it to C22. I put that on my mama. I'm going to ride for you, baby boo. Murder was the case that they gave me. Boy, y'all don't want me to do that. Y'all don't want me to do that. Hey, Sean, I appreciate, man, just as long as you're doing something, brother. Donating a like, donating a few bucks, it's all good. I appreciate you. Yeah, buddy. All right, so first things first, Brian kicks all the... All right, let's get this together. This is Tucker Carlson in a show he did about a week ago. And he had basically... kind of confirm what I had been thinking, because I had been thinking, like, with all of this shit that's been going on for Corona, we've been on lockdown, we shelter in place has been going on for a little bit over a month now. So we had about 6 weeks. And as bad as everybody was saying this is going to be, I particularly have not seen it get to that point. And I kind of said, well, maybe this is like the calm before the storm. And this was like 2 weeks ago when I started thinking this. And I'm like, no. Then the coronavirus team, they came out and said, hey, in the next couple of weeks, your next 2 to 3 weeks, this is when it's going to really hit us. It's going to really hurt us. So we got to make sure that we're staying indoors, that we're shelter in place, working from home, all of this, because it's coming. This was supposed to be the beginning of the swelling, if you will. The whole thing about it being where it's going to get bad, this is where this was going to happen. What up, Roy? And so I was kind of like bracing myself for it to see how bad it was going to be. And this is like a little bit over a week into this. Supposedly, the softening part of the bell, the rounding out of it. And thank you, Sko. It's been pretty calm. Things have been pretty quiet. Yes, there have been people still contracting it. Yes, there have been people dying. But just like how we needed 60,000 or 30,000 beds in New York in the hospital, I ain't heard nothing about that. The Army Corps of Engineers went out and built a motherfucking a hospital in 24 hours. Shout out to the Army Corps of Engineers. Hey, let me tell y'all something. If y'all didn't know, I knew. But if y'all didn't know, the Army Corps of Engineers is some badass, hardcore, heavy-hitting motherfuckers. I'm telling y'all, they are them dudes. When you talking about you need something built right, and you need it built overnight, well, who you want to call? You want to call the Army Corps of Engineers. Anything you don't want to do, the Army Corps will do for you. Anything you don't want to do, the Army Corps will do for you. Anything you don't want to do. All right, look, y'all. I know don't nobody know what that shit is from. I would be definitely surprised if somebody can name that movie that's from. Hey, shout out to my aunt. What's going on, Unc? I love you, man. I love you. Hey, got a birthday coming up soon. I wish the Rona lift was off of us so that I could come out there and see you. But I do just want to say this. This is something that I saw and I said, wow, this dude is really on to something. And he kind of like thinking where I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is this shit really all about? And that's kind of, Big Mo got it. Soldier Story, my man, CJ. Yeah, CJ Memphis in there. Yeah, buddy, the Geechee. My man, Big Mo. Shout out to you. Get a salute for that, Mo. But what Tucker is saying in here, all I'm saying is this. These are some questions. Now, y'all know me. Last week, I was talking about how ready I am. I got ammo, I got guns, and I'm ready to have some fun. I'm going to have me some fun. I'm ready. But I'm still now thinking, like, I'm cool with being ready and doing all the shit that I did to be ready, because I'm a just in case type of motherfucker. Just in case this happens, I want to be ready for this. And just in case that this happens, I want to be ready for that. So I'm one of them. I weigh the odds of this and that, because if I ain't ready for this, I'm going to be fucked up by that. So I want to be ready for this so that I can actually combat that. That's all I'm saying. So I'm good with what I said previously and being ready, because I believe in being ready for the shit that goes on that may be coming your way, that may harm you, your family, your loved ones, whatever the case may be. I'm ready. So as ready as I possibly can be. I still got some few things that I need to do that was even on that list that I gave you guys last week, but I'm still there. So let's watch this and let's see what happens. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
A couple of weeks ago, on March 25th, a researcher from the University of Massachusetts conducted an interesting survey. He reached out to 20 eminent epidemiologists and public health experts, and he asked a simple question. He asked, how many Americans will die from this outbreak of the coronavirus?
Does anybody know what epidemiologists are? I know some of us are educationally challenged. Epidemiologists are the scientists of the largest human organ. Do you know what the largest organ on the human body is? Anyone? Bueller. The largest organ on a human being, the largest human organ is, thank you, G friend, the skin. You get 50 relationship rehab books. I don't know where you can use them, or what they actually equate to, or what you can buy with them, but I'm just giving you some. There you go. 50 relationship rehab books for you. But yes, it is the science of the skin. That's what it is. All right. Mr. Craig, what's happening? Is that Brian? Brian, is that Brian? Let me know.
Virus. The average estimate he got back was 245,000 people. As it happens, that number matched almost exactly the projection from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington, the group that has created the most influential model of the pandemic. As recently as yesterday, you heard some authorities cite those numbers effectively in public. Hundreds of thousands will die. Well, that estimate has changed dramatically. This morning, the IHME issued brand new numbers. Its researchers now project 60,000 deaths in the...
Now, we talking about like a little bit over a week. These motherfuckers went from 245,000 down to 60. 245, 60. Let me tell you something. If a motherfucker told me, hey man, look, next week I got $245 for you, I'd be like, all right, cool. And then when next week come, a nigga tell me they only got $60, I'm mad than a motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be like, man, what the fuck? Now, if you say, hey, man, I got $245 and I get there to get my $245, and you say, hey, look, man, I only got $235. I'd be like, all right, man, I only got $220. Hey, look, you pressing it now, nigga. And that's if I know you. If I don't know your ass and you owe me some money, $245, man. Pay me my money. Hey, man, my kids didn't eat. Fuck you, pay me. Hey man, it's my wife and our anniversary. Fuck you, pay me. Hey man, look, I'm just trying to I got a few things I need to get my job shorted me on my check. Fuck you, pay me. That's if I don't know you. And then if I do know you, I might give you a 24-hour extension. Other than that, pay me my cash. Run that money. But that's why I don't loan money. I don't. I give you some money before I loan it to you. If I can't afford to give it to you, I can't afford to loan it to you. That's right. They're good fellas. But 245,000 down to 60, that's quite alarming to me. You overshot by that much. That's a large margin.
This country by August 4th. That's 1/4 of the original projection. Numbers for individual states have changed as well. In Virginia, for example, which is currently suffering under a lockdown until June, the model now predicts a total of 891 deaths statewide. Just a week ago, the IHME projected 3,073 deaths in Virginia. That's more than 3 times what they're now saying. At this point, we should not be surprised that the model got it wrong. The IHME's prediction of how many hospital beds we'd need turned out to be completely disconnected from reality.
Look at this.
And that matters quite a bit, it turns out, because those numbers were the main justification for this lockdown.
Yes.
Remember our efforts to flatten the curve? They weren't crazy. There was a good reason for doing that. We didn't want our healthcare system to collapse under a flood of new coronavirus patients.
And he's correct. Now, y'all tell me, have anybody, and like I said, y'all know I'm just here in little old Texas, but you all tell me, have any hospitals where you guys are collapsed? Have any hospitals where you guys are not been busy, not had an influx of patients? Not talking about that. I'm talking about shut down to where there's so many people there, they don't have enough beds for the people that are there. There are more people that are just dying because they're in the hospital and they don't have equipment to treat them. Has anybody heard of this? I haven't. I don't watch the news 24/7. I just don't do it. But has anybody heard of anything happening like that? Where a hospital, oh man, such and such Methodist hospital was just shut down because it's collapsed because everybody was in there from COVID. There's 1,000 people in there for COVID. It only had 400 beds. That's a hospital collapsing. I have not heard this. I haven't heard of anybody coming close to. Now, yes, I have heard of the Army Corps of Engineers doing what they did in New York. And then I know that in Chicago, they took the McCormick Place Convention Center. It's a big, dumbass convention center in Chicago called McCormick Place. And they outfitted that with hospital beds. They turned that motherfucker into like a mini hospital too. But I have not heard of anybody being overran or their hospital units collapsing due to this. And that to me is a kind of a, wait a minute now. So Bolo says not in not in New York. Where they have the auto show at. You're right, Rich. What up, Trucker C? But no, I haven't heard of it. I'm in Virginia. They just told you about us. Laugh out loud. So I'm just saying. Now I know that nurses have been getting infected and all that kind of stuff. Some nurses have had to have been quarantined, which was to be expected. But I haven't heard of anybody being overran. So I'm just saying that's one little thing, one little bullet point to just look at right there. No hospitals have been overran. The death toll went from 245,000 down to 60. And Virginia death estimate is, I said estimate. I'm talking like the champ from Harlem Nights. I know come Friday night, I am gonna knock somebody the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying? And then Jack Johnson, baby. All right, but Virginia death estimate is down to 891 from 3,000. So everybody's just overshooting this shit. And yes, Billy Goat made a great point out. I just want to say this. Now in New York City, what was Governor Cuomo talking cash shit about Trump? We're not prepared. We're overran. We're gonna get our asses kicked by this COVID-19, and Trump is nowhere to be found, and he's from here. Now he's hush. I ain't got nothing to say about Trump. Just saying. All Jack Jenkins. I said Jack Johnson, didn't I? Damn it. Jack Jenkins. There is a boxer though named Jack Johnson, ain't it? Yeah, what's the black boxer name? The real motherfucking boxer. Wasn't his name Jack Johnson? That's why I said that. But this is something that raised an eye about. That's three things right there, right off the bat, that has not come to fruition at all. Not even close.
And so far it has not collapsed, but not because we prepared effectively. We didn't really. There were just far fewer people who needed inpatient medical treatment than we thought there would be. For example, the model predicted that on April 4th, New York would need 65,000 hospital beds. The actual number was 16,000. Now, you're hearing people now say that the spread between the prediction and the reality must be due to social distancing. But that is not true. Social distancing measures were factored into the model from the beginning.
Boom! Bitch! Did you hear that? So people can't say, oh, see, the numbers got changed around. What saved Trump was us doing social distancing. No, as our Indian friends would say, no. Shout out to Russell Peters. No. That's not it.
The prediction 4 times larger. The spread between the prediction and the reality must be due to social distancing. But that is...
That dude was asking for 65,000 beds. We're going to need 65,000 beds. I'm sorry, 16,000. I miscalculated. The fuck out of here, Como.
Not true. Social distancing measures were factored into the model from the beginning. The prediction turned out to be 4 times larger than what actually happened. Social distancing didn't do that. Something else skewed the numbers. We don't know what it is. We should find out. At the same time, though, the IHME has been far more accurate on death totals. In some cases, they've been significantly overstated, but not by 400%. Pretty close in a lot of cases.
400%. You know, I know what the problem is. I know what the goddamn problem is. These motherfuckers up here that's counting and putting these numbers together, they need to go to the school of Hoppin' Bob and learn mathematics. You see, for those of you who don't know who Hoppin' Bob is, see, Hoppin' Bob, worked down in Camp 8. See what I'm saying? Down in Mississippi. State of Mississippi. See, that's where Hoppin' Bob worked at. Worked down there for boss. See, that's where he learned how to count. He had a handful of rocks, and that's how he counted his prisoners every day. He'd be like, New York City 1, New York City 2. Got all my rocks, boss. Yeah, y'all remember Hoppin' Bob? Huh? Why ain't that pig swinging? He said, it's too hot, boss. He tired. He too hot, boss. You tell that lazy jigaboo that the state of Mississippi is not concerned with his meteorological assessments. Listen up, jigaboo. State of Mississippi is not concerned with your meteorological assessments. You tell that lazy jigaboo that I said state of Mississippi is only concerned about getting this here ditch dug by sundown. Hopping Bob then said, state of Mississippi is only concerned about getting this here ditch dug by sundown. You got that, boy? That nigga Hopping Bob. Now you run afoul to Bob, you run afoul to me. Tell him about the gunline ball. Gunline ball? Yes, the gunline balls. Hopping Bob didn't fuck up on the count. Josh Gibson, Rayford Gibson, and Claude Banks had to literally wrestle Hopping Bob to the ground and tech tour his rocks in order for his count to be off. So why the fuck can't this government count these motherfucking deaths and get these projections at least in the ballpark? These motherfuckers ain't even in the ballpark. They ain't even in the parking lot. They 2 or 3 counties over from the goddamn stadium. Meanwhile, baseball is on hold. Meanwhile, basketball is on hold because these motherfuckers can't count.
Cases. Today, as we've told you, the IHME announced that about 60,000 Americans will die by the time the virus presumably recedes in the summer heat. That's an awful lot of people.
So let's look at this, and here goes the number part. When you look from March 1st, April, May, June, July, August. Remember when I was talking about when H1N1 hit, it took them 6 months to come up with clinical trials? Well, they're close to doing that now, but that really is not neither here nor there. But let's just look at the numbers. Well, what they're saying in the next 5 months, they're estimating about 60,000. And that, here's the thing, that will, for the most part, at least be the first wave, which is usually the deadliest wave of the virus. Why do I say it like that? Because if you don't know, now you know, viruses never go away. They never go away. They get modified, they change and all that, but they never go away. Hence, this being COVID-19. That means it was 18 other motherfucking COVIDs, which is why people talk about the conspiracy of the government. They knew this coronavirus was coming because I got a can of Lysol from 1984, and on the can, it said kill coronavirus. Now, how the fuck do they know about coronavirus back in 1980 motherfucking 2? See what I'm saying, G? See what I'm saying? It's a fucking conspiracy, Joe. No, you dumbass. The coronavirus has been around. It's just different versions. Just like the flu has been around. It's just different versions. Hence, bird flu. Tweet, 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 tweet. Hence, swine flu. That's my Peppa Pig right there. Peppa, do you have a bit of the swine flu? Well, yes, Daddy, I do have a bit of the swine flu. And I'm going to go over to my friend's house and see if he has the swine flu. And if he does, we'll have a swine flu party. Okay, Peppa, be careful. Enjoy your swine. I'm just bullshitting. Those of you who don't know who Peppa Pig is, I'm a father. God damn it. But it always changes. It's forever changing. So that's the thing. Virus ain't gonna never go away. It's motherfuckers still dying from H1N1. It's just not on a pandemic level, which is why you don't hear about it. Just like pneumonia. People die from pneumonia every goddamn year, but it's not on a pandemic level. Do you remember a couple of years ago when we had that really bad flu season? You know why? It's because the people who come up with the flu shot, they bet on the wrong goddamn version of the flu that they thought that the virus was going to mutate into. They were like, oh shit, we think it's going to mutate into this. Well, it didn't. It mutated into that. So the shot that everybody had gotten was useless because that strand of that H1, I mean not H1, but that strand of the flu was not, nobody was vaccinated for it. So it ran rampant. It ran rampant rapidly. Yeah. So when you have, right, exactly, when you have the wrong strain of the flu that you're inoculating everybody for, and there's a different one that comes out, it's a fucking crapshoot every fucking year. For the most part, they're right, but sometimes they're wrong.
But it's far from the largest death toll we will see this year. For perspective, we're going to read you now a series of numbers. Now, some people may be offended to hear this, but there's no reason to be. Accurate statistics are not offensive. They reflect reality, and reality should always be the baseline from which we make.
So my man Seventh Dragon says, so anti-vaccination for the win. Here's my thing about the flu shot and the vaccinations and all of that. I personally, I'm not taking it. My immune system has done me an outstanding job my entire life. And that's due to just the things I've been exposed to. I worked in the schools, been around a bunch of germy-ass kids. So it's like I caught a lot of shit early on in my life to where my immune system is like fucking solid as a rock. Dun, 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 dun. That's what my immune is. Oh, so these viruses can stop. So it's like, I'm not taking that shit. And it's like when you talk, the only people that I would recommend taking it are people who've had pneumonia, the elderly. Because once you catch pneumonia, you're more predisposed to getting it again. And pneumonia will take your ass the fuck out. That's why corona is so bad with a lot of old people or whatever or people who have it and don't know and ain't getting treated. And by the time they figure it out, it's too late. It's because it's like a very contagious airborne version of pneumonia. Like you can, you got pneumonia. That's pretty much what the shit is. It's just it's a harsher version of it. So that's who I would recommend people taking the flu shot. People who've had pneumonia before and very old people. Your ass is over 65, you probably need to take that shit. Just because yes, there are some adverse effects to it, but what's more adverse? Side effect from this motherfucking shot, or the side effects of pneumonia, or the side effects of a 65-year-old with breathing problems and shit like that. So that's why I would say it. That's why I would say it.
Important decisions, even if we ourselves have made other predictions in the past, even if we're embarrassed to admit what we now know, we should do it anyway, because ego doesn't matter at a time like this.
Exactly.
The truth matters.
Yes.
So here are a few numbers. As we said, an estimated 60,000 Americans will die from the coronavirus. According to the CDC, in 2018, 61,000 Americans died of the annual flu.
Boom!
That same year, more than
Did you hear that shit right there?
and 67,000 died from Americans will die from the coronavirus. According to the CDC, in 2018, 61,000 Americans died of the annual flu.
The annual flu. We ain't talking about H1N1. We just talking about the flu to come around every year. The same motherfucker that just keeps visiting. Like it's like the family reunion of viruses. That's the flu. Come around once a year and everybody get together and get the shit. 61.
That same year, more than 67,000 died from drug overdoses.
Wow.
Nearly 50,000 died from suicide. About 88,000 Americans died from alcohol abuse. 83,000 died from diabetes. More than 606,000 died from cancer.
There's your fucking pandemic right there. But check this out. These numbers, I totally get why he brought up these numbers. Because, yes, all lives matter, but when you look at 67,000 compared to 325 million Americans, it's literally a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket. Y'all like that drip drop sound? That's what it is. You look at 67,000 from drug overdoses, 50,000 from suicide, 88,000 from alcohol abuse, 83,000 from diabetes. That's the sugar. 83,000 niggas is dying every year from the sugar. And then you have a whopping 606,000 dying from cancer. Here's the fucked up thing about cancer. Nobody's trying to solve cancer. Nobody's trying to cure cancer. Nobody's trying to do that. Why? Because your government, who's in bed with your pharmaceutical companies, they realize that it's more profitable to treat cancer and to treat the symptoms of cancer than it is to cure it. Sad fact, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's true, as Future would say. I'm going to get more guap treating you for cancer and the symptoms thereof than I am for curing that cancer. So it's more beneficial to me as Big Pharma to spend money researching drugs that will help you go through having cancer than to cure you of cancer. So while you got cancer, you got diarrhea. I got something for that. While you got cancer, you got dry mouth. I got something for that. While you're going through cancer, you're getting chemo. I got something for that. You're losing your hair. I got something for that. Your skin changing colors. I got something for that. Your nails changing colors. I got something for that. Your stomach, you can't eat nothing, can't hold nothing. Your digestive tract area, I got something for that. So as opposed to me trying to treat one thing, why not just let you have that one thing and those 13, 14, 15 different ailments you got? Why not just try to give you shit to help comfort that, to subside it? That's just an aspect of what medicine has become here. That's just the truth. Same thing with, I got you, Sko. Same thing with HIV. It's the same thing, dude. Dude, here, let me prove my point to you, Sko, because Sko said I might believe that for HIV, but not cancer. Let me prove that for you for cancer. How many things do you know for a fact that causes cancer? Just think about it. What up, Kyle? Here I is. Just think about it. How many things do you know that we know? How many things are out that we know for a fact cure cancer? Okay? You can name some of those things. Asbestos, cigarettes, smoke, all this. You can name quite a few things. How about the things that we know that might cause cancer, that have been linked to cancer? How about that? What is, hey, Brian, while doing the show, can you look up the next news network, the post they put up today? That's some shit. You got to send that to me. Send me a link. But when you think about that, all of the shit that we know, right? They just found out baby powder's causing it. Talcum powder, I mean. Can't put, if you've been putting talcum powder on your ass, probably gonna catch cancer. Why wouldn't they eliminate the things that have a direct correlation? You know why? Because it's easier to play the game of, well, we don't know for sure. We're not sure. No, 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 no. That's what they're doing. That's how it's going. That's how it's been going down. Anything that people say, hey, living next to these motherfucking power lines is causing motherfucking cancer clusters. Well, what do you mean they're cancer clusters? It's a group of motherfuckers that got cancer living by these power lines. You don't say. Yeah, this shit is causing cancer, man. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't know that for sure, my friend. That's what they do. The shit from what's the damn movie, the Michael Moore movie, where they talk about the people who live next to Smithfield Farms, where they're taking the pig shit and mixing it with the water, the crops, and the shit is going all over everywhere, and the motherfuckers around there are dying. Yeah. Motherfuckers are catching cancer like a motherfucker dying from that shit. Sicko, that's it. They ain't stopped that, did they? We're not 100% sure that we see the correlation, but there's nothing that directly links this to cancer. The fact that cigarettes are still legal and the shit that they put in cigarettes is what's causing cancer. Motherfucker, you want to grow some natural tobacco leaf and put the shit in another tobacco paper and smoke it? Fine, it's all natural. But that ain't what they putting in cigarettes. They spraying that shit with all kind of shit. Motherfuckers still catching cancer. Throat cancer, lung cancer. Nothing. So, it is what it is. Emphysema. It is what it is.
Go on. But for now, let's look at two of those numbers, overdoses and suicides, both, by the way, disproportionately kill young people. Let's say the IHME death projections are too low for the sake of argument, and this would be the first time that's happened. But again, just for the sake of this exercise, let's assume the real number is twice as big. It's 120,000. That's how many Americans will die in this outbreak. If that's true, that would still be around as many people as die from overdoses and suicides.
Exactly. 60,000 is only 10% of what cancer does to us every year. 10%. Being overshot by diabetes by 23,000. Being overshadowed by alcohol by 28,000. Undershadowed by suicide by 10, and then drug overdose overshadowed by 7,000. So think about that. And my point to that is, none of these have ever been deemed a pandemic. None of these have ever caused shelter in place. See where I'm going?
Both of which our leaders essentially ignore, just like those are not considered a government problem. Yet in the last several weeks, in order to protect ourselves from the Wuhan coronavirus, which is dangerous and scary, we have thrown an estimated 17 million people out of work. We've spent more than $2 trillion in borrowed money.
2.2 trillion.
And that's just the response so far. Now, we're not going to tell you that what our leaders have done in the last month is disproportionate. You can decide that for yourself. But it's definitely something to think about going forward because, again, reality matters, even if it embarrasses us to admit it.
And that's my thing, is that nobody's saying, hey, wait a minute, guys. We kind of miscalculated these numbers. So here's where we're thinking we're at now. Nobody's saying that. They're just saying, yep, the numbers are here. This is what we're estimating. And that's it. And anytime there's a real question of some shit, it's, hey, what do you think, Dr. Fauci? So it's like when you're talking about these numbers that were so paramount less than a week ago, 2 weeks ago max, everybody was ready to string Trump up by his fucking thumbs and tar and feather his motherfucking ass because he's about to be responsible single-handedly for the death of 200 to 300,000 American souls. That's where we were 2 weeks ago. I was on the phone with my uncle. Shout out to you, Uncle 85. My Uncle Marty. And he was just hell-bent on talking about how these Republicans are responsible for the lives of so many people that's about to die because they failed to act. Well, now, these numbers aren't even close to pandemic numbers. He said they're 400% wrong, exaggerated by over 400%. Just saying.
Many of our politicians.
And John Nada, you may be right. Because here's the thing. 2-3 weeks ago, what were we saying? Well, we didn't have tests, and the tests aren't here, so we don't know how many people got it. We don't know how many people are infected. Well, now, tests have been around for 2 weeks. Numbers have went up, which we thought, but the big numbers have not come in yet. And also, let me throw this caveat out there as well. For everybody that's talking about the corona deaths, whether it's 2,000 or 20,000, you do know that the way that they're counting corona deaths, any death that has occurred that happened due to corona or COVID symptoms is deemed a COVID-19 death. So that means if I die from pneumonia tomorrow, they're calling that a COVID death. If I die from a COVID-related symptom, they call it a COVID death. That's a fact. They said that shit. True shit. So imagine the numbers and how the numbers are being skewed because of that. You got motherfucking 60,000 motherfuckers dying from pneumonia or the flu every goddamn year. That's why I believe that's why they said it's going to be at least 60,000. I think it'll probably be a little bit more than that because of the way that they're counting the numbers, the way that they're counting the deaths. So you know for sure we're going to get at least 60,000 motherfuckers that's going to die from pneumonia and the flu. At least. So we'll call all those COVID 85s? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, I guess. Think about that shit. I died from an asthma attack. What is asthma? Suffocating, shortness of breath. Is shortness of breath one of the COVID-19 side effects or symptoms? Yeah, it's a COVID death. Yeah, but he got his inhaler right here. It just ran out. That's why he died. It's a COVID death. COVID-19, checkbox. There you go.
So don't seem to be thinking about it. In the face of improving numbers, in fact, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy announced that his state would, quote, if anything, tighten as opposed to loosen lockdown restrictions. Statements like that make you wonder what's really going on here. Is public...
And that's when shit starts to get a little fishy. When you hear them saying, because what he's saying is that this dude Murphy, he's pretty much just saying, yeah, we need to get tighter lockdown restrictions. So what he's doing now, that's what you call spinning the narrative. He's perpetuating the narrative. Let's just keep saying these trigger words. Let's keep saying these hot phrases. Let's just keep saying it. Let's just keep talking about it. Keep the propaganda going. Tighter lockdowns, longer lockdowns. We're not doing. Some states have already said, yeah, we're not. We're gonna keep this going through May. We went from a week and reevaluate to every 2 weeks, then we'll reevaluate to now. Oh fuck it, yeah, it's just gonna be through May. You don't know where this shit is gonna be at in May. You don't know where it's gonna be at 2 weeks from now. Why would you just push this shit a whole nother 6 weeks ahead? Shelter in place for another 6 weeks? For what? For what? And for those of you who just joined saying, well, it's because of the social distancing. Nope, social distancing was already put into those numbers. The social distancing was put into the 245 to 300,000 that they've been saying. Man, Sko, I never thought of that. Skohar said, think about it, Brian. A good way to judge pandemic is the homeless. If they're surviving, so will we. I gotta admit, it makes sense. It makes sense. Wouldn't they be the motherfuckers? Them some of the most, we all around each other and spreading shit around this motherfuckers on the goddamn planet. You would think that they would be the ones dropping like flies first. But they are not, are they? Think, y'all.
Health really the only consideration for these people? Maybe not. Here's Zeke Emanuel, who's not only an academic, but also a longtime political hack, explaining on MSNBC this morning that America must remain in its current state for a year and a half. Now, keep in mind, at almost the very moment that Zeke Emanuel said this, the IHME was revising its total death rate down to 60,000.
I do think we're going to turn to what we think of as normal, the sort of pre-COVID-19 situation, only with the vaccine or some very effective preventative that everyone can take. That is 18 months away, and we need to keep very, very clear about that. We're not getting that around the corner.
You want to give everyone in this country the benefit of the doubt in the middle of a crisis. But honestly, you have to wonder what motivates people to say things like what you just heard. If you were sincerely trying to help the country, you would be focused on effective medical treatments for this disease. A drug that saved even half of patients heading toward death would change the landscape immediately and forever. In a situation like this, science is our hope. So you'd think our media would be following every medical advance at least as closely as we followed the Final Four. But no, they're...
Great point. Why wouldn't we be relying on scientists and science in this type of situation? Which was one of the reasons why I said it's good that Dr. Fauci is at the forefront of this. It's good that the Surgeon General dude, is it Jerome Adams? Is at the forefront. They should be the main ones we hearing from. The motherfuckers that are here that are the scientists should be talking and telling us about this shit. We should be hearing from them more than anybody else. If this is all about the virus. Unless there's some in the works.
Doing just the opposite. They're ignoring promising treatments in favor of promoting ever more oppressive social controls. Why are they doing that? In the case of the drug hydroxychloroquine, which doctors are giving...
Let me say this real quick. I see what you got on here, Michelle Colbray. He says, Sko got a major point. But Brian, where are the high recovery numbers at? Great question. Here's the thing. They're not counting the recoveries. You know why? Because if you get it and you ain't dying from it, those are your recoveries. Look at the numbers of those that are infected. And then you'll see what those numbers are for those that have recovered. Because after 14 days, 2 weeks done gone by, then that'll let you know how many people have recovered. Or at least ballpark it. Won't give you an exact number, but it'll give you a ballpark. And I got some numbers to show you too. Give me 1 second.
Right now to thousands of coronavirus patients, reporters who have no grounding in science are telling us that it's unproven and risky, apparently in contrast to everything else we're doing.
Fauci's saying those studies are not scientific, and chloroquine, a drug used to treat malaria and lupus, also carries cardiovascular risks. But the president continues to endorse the drug.
President Trump is asked, what do you have to lose? Medical experts say your life.
What do you have to lose?
Well, potentially you could lose your life.
Experts say there isn't enough clinical data to show it's effective for coronavirus, and it has some serious side effects.
They continue today to push hydroxychloroquine in a way that is baffling to medical professionals.
Gene Robinson, you write in the Washington Post, the one word that proves why President Trump should not be president, what is it?
Hydroxychloroquine.
These people have no idea what they're talking about, and they don't care to learn. You know exactly what they're doing. They're launching partisan political attacks and pretending it's medical advice.
And that is my thing with, and this was part of my argument that I had with my uncle. We have this, there are so many people that have this thing against Trump. And I've said this 50 billion times. Do I think Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread? No. Do I think Trump does no wrong? Absolutely not. Do I think that Trump says some stupid shit quite often, damn near every other time he opens his mouth? For the most part, yes. But when you look at the political landscape and you look at the politicians that are in place, that are in power on either side, if you're not acknowledging bullshit on both sides of the game, then you are literally just an emotional hater. You're an emotional hater. You in your feelings and you just don't like Trump because you just don't like Trump. And that's okay if that's what you're going to do. It's stupid as fuck, but it's okay. Because everybody has their right to acknowledge their feelings. But you should just acknowledge that and say that. I don't like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't like the New York Knicks. I don't like the Minnesota Twins. I don't like the Detroit Pistons. I don't like the Detroit Tigers. I don't like the Detroit Lions. I don't like the Cleveland Indians. I don't like the Green Bay Packers. I don't like the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't like the Cleveland Browns. I don't like the Minnesota Vikings. I don't like Nan Midwest team. Because I'm a Chicago fan of everything. Die hard. I see red. I love the Bulls, the Bears, the Sox, the Cubs. I love even the Chicago Sting, the Blackhawks. I don't even watch hockey, but I love the Blackhawks. And you know why? I ain't got nan bit of animosity against any of those teams. I have nothing personally invested. None of those teams have done anything to me with the exception of the goddamn Detroit Lions because they've ruined two of football's greatest athletes because they're just dumbasses and they're a shit organization. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson careers have been ruined by those goddamn Detroit Lions. They need to put the Ford family in a goddamn they need to move the Ford family to Flint and make them live in that Flint water for the rest of their lives. That's all I'm saying. But anything else that I got against any of those teams, it's all emotional. There's nothing I can say. Even with the Pistons, the way they beat up on Mike and Scotty and them two rings that them hoe ass niggas won, and after that we came and swept their ass. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not petty that much. Even with that, I have nothing invested in any of those teams. I just don't like them because they not my squad. They not my team. That's it. But I can admit that. Man, how come you don't like the Cleveland Cavaliers? What about LeBron? I like LBJ. We made Michael Jordan. Bullshit, cuz. You damn near tried to end his career with your Jordan rules. How you make somebody by saying, hey, every time he go to the hole, y'all just swing on the motherfucker and take the foul. Punk ass bad boys. And you know what? That's why don't nobody talk about the bad boys. Do y'all realize that the bad boys won back-to-back championships and don't nobody say shit about them? Don't nobody talk shit. And that's one of the reasons why Isaiah Thomas hoe ass always crying, always hating on Mike, hating on Scotty, because don't nobody talk about their asses at all. The motherfucking championships that Rasheed Wallace and them and Rip Hamilton won, they get talked about more than the championships that the Bad Boys won back to back. Facts. Those 2 championships in the NBA, they don't show no videos of them. Bill bitch ass. They don't show no videos of Xavier McDaniel, all them other motherfuckers, Joe Dumars. They don't even replay them shits. When was the last time you saw a highlight reel from them 2 teams, them 2 years they won, of the Pistons? You don't see it. Because the NBA don't even count that shit. Those fucking Detroit Pistons, the bad boys of Detroit, they ain't shit. Your championships mean nothing. They're just on a scroll of papyrus in the goddamn NBA Hall of Fame. No one talks about them. No one laments about them. No one congratulates them. No one wants to see them. They ain't shit. Those championships are not acknowledged in NBA basketball history. They don't get acknowledged. Tell me I'm lying. Stop me if I'm lying about that shit. You can say I'm hating or whatever the fuck you want to say, but them motherfuckers don't get acknowledged. Nobody talks about the Bad Boys. Nobody talks about the Bad Boys. Just tell me if I'm lying. Tell me, like, no, they just did a special about the Bad Boys a couple of days ago, 2 weeks ago. They just reran the Bad Boys finals against LA. Nope. They talking about them Bulls, though, baby. They talk about them Bulls. Come Fly With Me is talked about more than the Bad Boys of Detroit. Fuck that. I'm getting this little rant off. Don't nobody talk about them Bad Boys. Motherfucking Mike Lowry and Martin Lawrence get talked. Mike Lowry and Marcus get talked about more than the Bad Boys do. The Bad Boys of comedy get talked about more than the Bad Boys of basketball do or the NBA do. Huh? The Bad Boys on Cops get talked about more than the Bad Boys of the Pistons do. Just saying. And that's all I have to say about that. I know my cousin Wes. My cousin Wes is a true Detroit fan. I know he cussing me the fuck out right now. Like, I hate this motherfucker eating shit. I love my cousin. But I'm just saying. Anyway, Bad Boys 2-1 against the Bulls in the playoffs. You right. They did. But them motherfuckers didn't get swept like them Bulls did. And then them Bulls went on to win them three-peats. Ain't nobody, who else in Detroit got a three-peat or anything? Three-peat in a court appearance? Motherfuckers talk about RoboCop in Detroit more than they do talk about the Bad Boys of Detroit. The only three things they talk about in Detroit is Ford, GM, and Chrysler. They don't talk about shit about the Bad Boys. All right, man, let me get back to this. This is almost over.
That is always wrong. But you know exactly what they're doing. They're launching partisan political attacks and pretending it's medical advice. That is always wrong. But right now, in the middle of a pandemic that is reckless and immoral, remember their names.
Very true.
A couple of weeks.
Very true. So let's move into this other part here, and then I'm going to show you these young statistics that I got for you. But I wanted to talk about this part where we're talking about the African Americans, aka black folks, aka black Americans, aka loose niggas, aka niggas, that have suffered more as far as the mortality rate, as far as just surviving this thing. It's like a 50-50. But half of the motherfuckers that catch this shit are dying from when it comes to black folks. And it's quite alarming. When I first saw this, I was literally I was in shock. I was like, what? I was literally watching it saying, no, it can't be. And then I started to do a little research and I came across this and I said, fuck, he's right. Check this out.
At the president's direction, yesterday I met with 2,000.
For those of you who don't know who this is the U.S., the United States Surgeon General. That means this is one of the top motherfucking medical minds in the country, holding one of the highest medical positions in the world. This motherfucker right here, a brother. And some motherfuckers have even begun to call this dude Uncle Tom, which is dumb as fuck anyway, but that's what loose niggas do.
Hispanic leaders from their communities. And today, the vice president led a phone call that I was on with hundreds of African-American leaders, including the Reverend Jesse Jackson, including Derek Johnson of the NAACP, including the National Medical Association and the Black Nurses Association, to talk about some of the alarming trends we're observing regarding the impact of COVID-19 on communities of color. And you've heard the stats in New York City. Hispanics represent the majority of deaths. In Milwaukee County, blacks are 25% of the population, but almost 50% of the cases and 75% of the deaths. So what's going on? Well, it's alarming, but it's not surprising that people of color have a greater burden of chronic health conditions. African Americans and Native Americans develop high blood pressure at much younger ages. It's less likely to be under control and does greater harm to their organs. Puerto Ricans have higher rates of asthma, and black boys are 3 times as likely to die of asthma as their white counterparts.
Boom. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? What? What you say? And Dennis Rodman with the butt. Let me stop. Let me stay focused. Let me stay focused. And I hope I remember to come back to this shit at the end. I'm going to stay focused. But listen to this part again, because this is the reality of where we're at. And I got a couple things to say about this.
Puerto Ricans have higher rates of asthma, and black boys are 3 times as likely to die of asthma as their white counterparts. As a matter of fact, I've been carrying around an inhaler in my pocket for 40 years out of fear of having a fatal asthma attack. And I hope that...
Now, you do know that that's how some... When you're talking about just... And asthma is just one of those things that has run rampant amongst black folks. Every other loose nigga I know got asthma. Now, do that stop niggas from smoking weed? Hell no. Do that stop niggas from smoking blunts? Hell to the no. Do that stop niggas from getting high and smoking? No way. They still smoke Newports. They still smoke Cools. They still smoke Capris. They still smoke... They still smoke Blackwoods. They still smoke the grape blunts. And you niggas know that they got motherfucking asthma. Knowing they got it. And what do they say? Man, it ain't the weed, man. It ain't the weed that do this shit, man. I get asthma because of other shit, man. It's the shit that's in the air, man. That's what got me asthma. Okay, you got it. Why the fuck are you smoking? Niggas don't even have the sense to stop smoking blunts. Because you do realize that most of the toxic shit that you smoke, because marijuana is a natural herb given to us by the God up on high. But you do realize that niggas take weed, put it into a manufactured, sprayed on all types of chemicals, I don't know what the fuck it is, blunt, cut the motherfucker in half, or I'm sorry, bust it down with they long, dirty, funky ass nails, dump out all the tobacco, which is probably the most naturalist part of the goddamn thing, wet the shit up with their coronavirus motherfucking lips. Then they put the weed in this motherfucking foreign paper that got all this type of shit on it, and they smoke that. That's why niggas' lips be pink. That's why niggas' lips get dark purple. That's why niggas' teeth and shit get yellow. That's why niggas' fingertips be all discolored and shit. Because it's not the weed, it's the shit you're smoking the weed in. You are in the shit that's getting you higher than what you normally used to getting high with is the fucking blunt paper. The motherfucking shit. Oh yeah, this is all natural leaf. Ain't shit all natural flavored white grape. Fuck is you talking about? Ain't not a goddamn thing you got that you can say is all natural and the flavor of it is white grape. It's a goddamn cigarette. Just like niggas who say, oh no, nigga, I don't smoke, nigga. I don't smoke no weed. I don't smoke no cigarettes, but I smoke Black and Milds. Boy, what the fuck is a Black and Mild? You don't know what the fuck is on that or what's in that? I don't smoke no Black and Mild. I don't smoke none of that shit, but I smoke beaties. This is an Indian cigarette. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of my face on the internet. If that shit ain't natural motherfucking leaf, you is putting some shit into you putting foreign what do they call it? Is it foreign antibodies or whatever? You putting a foreign substance in your fucking body that you ain't supposed to have in your fucking body. Plain and simple. That shit is not good for you. That's why so many niggas have asthma, keep asthma get worse. They go from a pump to having breathing treatments. They go from breathing treatments to going to the hospital. They go through all that bullshit because you smoking some shit that you ain't supposed to be smoking. I smoke motherfucking cigars, real cigars. You know what? I don't have them every day. That's for one. And two, I don't motherfucking inhale the smoke while I'm taking it in my mouth and then blowing the shit out through my nose. Now, in my days of when I did smoke weed, I did start out with the good old-fashioned blunts, and then I said I hated the way that the blunts tasted. I did not want to get used to that taste. I did not want to get used to the taste. I didn't like it. It made my breath stink terribly. I didn't like the way the shit tasted. It was terrible. You know what I did? I started going old school. I was rolling them tops. I learned how to roll tops. I'm talking, and nigga, I was so motherfucking, I stood on my square so, damn, I did not mean to stack them. I stood on my square so tough that I would be in a circle with niggas. We'd be at a smoke out, and them niggas would be passing them over. I'd be like, I'm good. I'm sitting back with a J. Then it got to the point where I wouldn't even smoke it. I was buying my own weed saying, nigga, I smoke this. I get me a zip. I get whatever I have. And I'd have a quarter for so long because I wouldn't do it every day. But when I would do it on my own, and I have my own shit. I'm rolling J's. Y'all niggas can put in and buy whatever y'all gonna buy. Go on and get y'all zips. Go on and get what y'all. I'm gonna be right here. Smoking that square. And if I'm feeling real good on a Friday night or something, I'd go ahead and roll a Marley. You ain't got to buy Marley papers. You can take 2 tops and make you a Marley. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, man. And then I got to the point where I would either smoke it, I would either smoke tops, or I would smoke in a pipe. Because one could even argue, well, it's something on them papers. Okay, then give me me the pipe. Not the crack pipe, you motherfuckers. The smoking pipe. That's what I would do. Because I just knew that shit that's in them blunts, that shit that's in them backwoods and all that shit is something in it. Something in it. I can't. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do. You hate pipes, man. I had the highest I've ever been in my life. Shout out to my boy Steve Matthews, boy. The highest I've ever been in my life. I was in California. We had some of the stickiest of the icky. That sticky, icky. Ooh, wait. Put it in the air. Man. It was one of them little pipes, a little thing that you put it in there, and it sounded like a whistle. When you be, that's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. Hitting that whistle, boy. We was so high. Let me tell you, it was me, my boy Steve, and my boy Mac, my brother Mac. We was so high. We was in a rental car driving around LA for 2 hours. Just driving around. Driving around for in downtown LA and all that shit. We drove around for 2 hours. And you know how I knew it was the highest I'd ever been? Because for them 2 hours we was driving around, none of us said a word to each other. How the fuck you in a car in LA driving around for 2 hours, windows up, and don't say a word to each other? Don't say a word. We were just in there. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Two hours. Ain't said shit. And I said, this is the highest I've ever been. I said, do y'all realize we ain't talked to each other in 2 hours? 2 hours, man. We just riding around. Ain't got nowhere to be. We just literally bending corners and ain't said shit to each other. I said, I ain't never been this high. I've been high, but I ain't never been that high. I ain't never been that high. I was just looking up at buildings. You know, I ain't know. I mean, how many skyscrapers are in LA? What, 12? 15? If that. And you talk about somebody who from Chicago? Ain't nothing but skyscrapers in Chicago. Ain't no skyscraper go wow me. He did that night.
Showing you this inhaler shows little kids with asthma all across the country that they can grow up to be Surgeon General one day. But I more immediately share it so that everyone knows it doesn't matter if you...
I just realized who this motherfucker is too. This the motherfucker that tell you on the side pack of them cigarettes that this shit may cause cancer. That's who this nigga is.
Look fit. If you look young, you are still at risk for getting and spreading and dying from coronavirus. The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19, and is possibly, in fact, likely that the burden of social ills is also contributing. Social distancing and teleworking, we know, are critical, and you've heard Dr. Birx and Dr. Fauci talk about how they prevent the spread of coronavirus, yet only 1 in 5 African Americans and 1 in 6 Hispanics has a job that lets them work from home.
Boom. There's the first point. Basically what he's saying is that niggas don't have high-paying jobs or they just outright broke in the beginning. First off and foremost, most niggas don't have jobs where you can work from home. Nigga at the car wash. At the car wash. Whoa, 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 whoa. Car washer. Car wash. Work and work and you'll think you dang me. Come in, work and work You ain't got no job you can work from home. But in all reality, though, a lot of the jobs that we have that are, and there are some jobs that are good paying jobs, like barbers, for instance. Barber work from home, but yeah, you're gonna be around motherfuckers that got corona. But when you look at the jobs that we normally have, where are we working, y'all? Fast food joints. We're working at Walmarts. We're working at Targets. Well, niggas ain't really working at Targets. We're working at Aldi's. We're working at Walmart. We working at the Jewel, Osco. Working at Walgreens. So it's like we don't have those jobs where we can say, "Hey, I take my laptop and go home and work." No, everybody don't have it. The majority of us don't have those type of jobs. So we are forced to work where? At our Whataburgers, at our McDonald's, at our White Castles, at our Harold's Chicken. We're there to work there. Thanks for the super chat there, Falcon Nation. I appreciate you. Next time, hit that Cash App or that PayPal, brother. Don't get that money to YouTube. No, I'm just tripping. I appreciate it, though, man. So that's a great point that he made, which kind of like said, yeah, he right.
People of color are more likely to live in densely packed areas and in multi-generational housing.
Now, what that means is what? The fucking projects. Broke niggas living on top of broke niggas in high rises or in Section 8 housing or living in project buildings and all that kind of shit. That's what he means by that. So when you look at our living situations and you look at the things that we have in place that are, as far as our living conditions are concerned, how many motherfuckers are living in that project building? How many motherfuckers are living in that Section 8 housing? You got a grandmama, you got a daughter, you got a young teenage girl and her kid. You got 4 generations in that motherfucker. Sometimes 5. Great grandma, mama, daughter, and her kid. Not to mention the most of these motherfuckers got multiple kids. And then the host of uncles, cousins, brother-in-law. Well, there ain't no brother-in-laws. Motherfuckers ain't getting married. But multiple baby daddies, they kids. So you got a lot of motherfuckers living on top of each other, living next to each other in the same house, in the same high rise, whatever you want to call it. They living in the same areas. And they're literally they're in close proximity where they can't go and be in their house and social distance themselves. They can't because of just the living environment that they're in. So I said, fuck, he's right about that.
Which situations which create higher risk for spread of a highly contagious disease like COVID-19. We tell people to wash their hands, but a study showed 30% of the homes on Navajo Nation don't have running water.
Then he even took it a step further, and I shout out to you for this, bro. He brought up the Native Americans, which a lot of times motherfuckers don't even consider. The motherfuckers whose land this was, we don't even consider or even talk about, unless a motherfucker talking about the casino or talking about the high suicide rates. Them the only times a motherfucker even mention Native Americans. Or you watching Pocahontas on Disney. Just saying. Or it's Columbus Day. Or Thanksgiving. Them 4 times. Yeah, I ain't shit, I know.
So how are they going to do that? In summary, people of color experience both more likely exposure to COVID-19 and increased complications from it. But let me be crystal clear. We do not think people of color are biologically or genetically predisposed to get COVID-19.
Fact dropping now. We do not believe that people are genetically predisposed. That means you genetically predisposed. That means your ass gonna be born with the COVID-19 magnet. Where your body and your genes and your cells be like, is that COVID over there? Well, let me get on over here and see what that COVID do. They don't do that.
There is nothing inherently wrong with you, but they are socially.
Let me clarify that for some of us that may be educationally challenged. Inherently wrong with you means that there's nothing that you are born with that you get from just being born on this green earth of God that would predispose you to catching COVID-19. There is nothing that you have in your genetic code, in your DNA, that would actually have you predisposed to getting COVID-19. So that's a fact. So don't be spreading no more rumors and no more lies about this virus was made up to kill off black folks. No, That's not the case.
Predisposed to coronavirus exposure and to have a higher incidence of the very diseases that put you at risk for severe complications of coronavirus. But as the Vice President shared on the call this morning, this history, and I want you to hear me say this, it does not have to be our nation's future. We're taking steps now in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic to reach, protect, and strengthen all communities impacted by this disease, and especially our communities of color. More details will be forthcoming, but we are actively working, as the Vice President and the CDC Director laid out today, data collection, targeted outreach to communities of color, and increasing financial, employment, education, housing, social, and health supports so that everybody has an equal chance to be healthy.
All right, so here's the thing about this. And while that's stopped right there, I'm going to put this last thing up. But let me get on y'all loose niggas' asses right now for a quick second. It's time for Reggie to talk about you niggas a little bit. Here's the biggest takeaway from all of that. So yes, people that are predisposed to COVID-19, to the survival rate of COVID-19, the people who don't make it essentially are people who got asthma, high blood pressure, diabetes. Yes, black children are 3 times more likely, black male children are 3 times more likely to have asthma and to suffer from asthma than whites are. Yes, the chips are stacked against us. And you know why the chips are stacked against us? For a couple of reasons. Number one, we don't take care of ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves. We don't go to the fucking doctor for routine checkups. We don't go to the doctor when we think something may be wrong with us. We don't do preventive health care at all. Niggas don't like preventive health care. There, I said it. Niggas hate going to the doctor. Most niggas, you ask your average black man, your average black woman, you ask your average motherfucker in the ghetto, and you ask them, what's your primary care physician name? They're gonna be like, my who? Your primary care physician. Do you know what the fuck a PCP is? PCP? Oh shit, my uncle said that shit. No, bitch. Do you know what a PCP is? I just told you, motherfucker. My uncle sell that shit. People be tripping off his shit all the time. He got PCP, LSD. He might even have a little bit of the HIV. And he definitely down with OPP. I guess that's why he got HIV. And I guess that's how he was doing LSD and PCP. Motherfucker. Fuck you mean? Fuck you talking about? You ask a nigga, hey bro, who's your PCP, man? My what? Your PCP, motherfucker. Don't you know what a PCP is? Oh yeah, I know what a PCP is. I just didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you had said. Okay, who's your PCP, motherfucker? Shit, I forgot the motherfucking name. Nigga, stop lying. You don't even know what the fuck a PCP is, do you? No, shit, nigga, you got me on that. What the fuck that shit is, though, nigga? Nigga, what that shit is? Who that is? That's just my primary care physician. Who that is? That's just my primary care physician. Who that is? That's the thing. Motherfuckers don't even know. You ask niggas about they dentist. How often do they go to the dentist? Niggas don't know that shit. Nigga, my motherfucking tooth hurt, nigga. That's when the fuck I go to the dentist. Fuck you talking about? You right, bro. You got it. Okay. One of the best things my daddy ever did for me. He taught me that shit at a young age. Every 6 months, my daddy took me to get my teeth cleaned. Every 6 months, my daddy took me to get a physical. I love to go because the motherfucker would come pick me up out of school. Nigga, I'm getting a half a day early dismissal. Peace, bitches. And I used to go to Rush when I was a teenager, so here's why I loved going to the doctor. 6-month checkup come along. We go to the doctor, go to Rush. Rush is by what? That's right, Jewtown Polish. We go to Rush, go to the doctor. On the way home, get the Jewtown Polish. I get my Jewtown Polish with extra mustard, add cheese, and extra dark onions. Oh my God. Extra dark onions, cheese, and extra mustard. Jewtown Polish. The best Polish in the world. Just saying. That's what I would do. So I was used to it. Then we would go over on the west side to the dentist. Dentist would go clean. Look at these pearly whites. Ain't no veneers here, baby. Not a cavity in the house, baby. Shit. This year, well, end of last year, I just had my top wisdom teeth taken out. Not that they were rotten or anything, but they would cause, because of, I guess, over the age or whatever, the way that they were placed in my jaw, because I got a severe underbite. My underbite is only like 3% of the population have it. But anyway, it would my wisdom teeth would push down a little bit on my bottom teeth, which would cause them to get my gums to get sore. And I would always get food and shit caught in those. And my dentist used to tell me, say, look, as you get older, what's going to happen is just because your teeth getting older, you're either going to get cavities in them and have to get them crowned and filled and shit, or you should just have them extracted. I was like, all right, I should get them extracted. I'll get them extracted then. Ain't no point in me going through getting a root canal and all that shit. And they were causing pressure on my bottom wisdom teeth, which was making my gums sore. So I just had them. That's the only thing I've ever had. And I got 2 small, like, microchips on 2 teeth in my mouth because I had a tongue ring. And when I first got it, the tongue ring was too big. It was too long. And it fucked up and I bit it twice. Yeah. But after that, I got the right size and I was good. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, I went to the doctor and the dentist all the time, regularly. As a young boy, as a teenager. I can remember my mama taking me to the clinic back in the day to get me my shots and all that type of shit for school. She did that. Shout out to Mom. Mom Dukes, as they say. That's all I'm saying. It's like we have to realize that, man, you have to have some type of self-care, preventive care that you have to do. And black folks don't do the shit. We don't go to the dentist unless our fucking mouth is about to fucking explode. We don't go to the doctor unless we fucking fall the fuck out. My man Seven Dragon said predisposed. Could you dumb that down a notch or two? That means I'ma get it because other motherfuckers got it. That came before me. But I'm just saying, we don't do it until it's too late. When do people find out they got diabetes? After they fall out. They fall out from the shit. One of my boys I used to run the streets with, Tough, my nigga James, that nigga didn't know he had diabetes, and the only way he found out was that the nigga couldn't, he wasn't feeling good, he wasn't sleeping good, and the nigga just kept pissing all the time. He was like, "There's something wrong with me." The nigga was down there about to fall out and pass out because he's about to go into a diabetic coma. And barely made it to the hospital, and that's when the doctor said, "Oh shit, nigga, you got diabetes. Your insulin is fucked up." Just saying, high blood pressure. When we find that out, when nigga have a panic attack or some shit, nigga fall the fuck out, man, that nigga just fainted. Why? I don't know. Niggas be having, think about this. How many times have you heard of somebody you know having a mini stroke? A mini heart attack? Niggas be having that shit all the time and don't be saying shit, and then they find out, what, I had a mini stroke? Doctor said this was my 3rd one. I just didn't know it. The fuck? Doctor said if I would have, when my blood pressure was so high, if I didn't come into the hospital within the next 2 days, I would have just died, bro. Wow. Seriously? You know how that shit, I ain't know. You didn't know because you don't go get blood work done annually. You didn't know because you don't go get your teeth cleaned annually. So when you finally bite down on that motherfucking annihilator for the 800th time, and the motherfucking enamel on your teeth is gone, and your motherfucking tooth finally just say, fuck it. Now your mouth is hurting to where you can't bear it. Now I go to the dentist. My knee is bothering me to where I can't walk. Now I go to the knee doctor. Nigga, you 400 pounds and your knees are bothering you. What do you think that is? Oh, I just pulled a muscle? No. Your knee said, fuck, man. Do you see how much weight you putting on me? I'm balancing 200 to 400 pounds every other fucking step, man. Now I'm 51. I've been doing this fuck shit for the past 30 years. Because back when you was 15, you was thin. And we was hooping and playing football and shit. Now, nigga, ever since you been 30, you've been making me hoist around this extra 200 to 400 pounds every other step. Nigga, I'm tired. That's why I'm hurting. See that? Trucker C. Yep, I found out I had diabetes when I fainted. How I beat it? Eat right, drink water, exercise, and smoke weed. I'm 200 pounds lighter and don't need insulin shots since 2012. Congratulations. You do what most don't even attempt and most can't even maintain. Blurred vision, exactly. Motherfuckers with that high blood pressure, blurred vision. Nigga think, I need to go get my eyes checked. No, nigga, you need to get your blood checked. Your pressure's up. That's why you have headaches all the time. That's why your eyes hurt. That's why you have migraines. That's why. It ain't your sinuses, nigga, it's your blood fucking pressure. Because you stress the fuck out. And we ain't gonna even get into that. We're not gonna even talk about the motherfuckers that die from stress. The motherfuckers that die from heart disease. We ain't gonna even talk about that shit. We be here all night. So many motherfuckers die from that shit at a young age. Niggas don't even hit 40. Dead from stress. My motherfucking play cousin, rest in peace, Don. I love you, bro. Nigga died from stress, and it was stress from his baby mama. That no good, ain't shit, rat face, ghetto fucking bitch killed that man by stressing him the fuck out because she was playing with him and his daughter. Playing chess. Can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, can't do that, can't see her, can't do this. You ain't gonna never see her. Cause you ain't giving me what the fuck I want. Nigga got so stressed the fuck out, so worked up, nigga had a heart attack, died. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he was 34, 33, maybe 30, 36 or 35. He was between 33 and 36. Dead. Went to sleep and did not wake the fuck up. After he was arguing with her for so long and got so fucking stressed out that he went to sleep to calm down. He forced himself to go to sleep to calm down. And there you have it. There you have it. Let's look at these numbers, though. And I'm going to try to go through this real quick, and we're going to get on up out of here. So first, what you see here, these are the United States and the worldwide COVID-19 numbers as of 20 minutes ago before I started the show. So you say probably at around 10-ish. That's when I started. That's when I pulled this. And this will go back to that question of how do we know how many people have been cured? 586,000, almost 600,000 motherfuckers have confirmed cases of coronavirus. 43,637 have recovered. 23,604 have died. That leaves what? That's a roughly 67,000 people. That still leaves another 500 and maybe 10,000 motherfuckers. Really about 5,500, about 515,000 people that are still like, oh, we still out here. We ain't died. We ain't dead yet. And what's the recovery time? Roughly about 2 weeks. Some have had it for a few days and fully recovered, but you say about 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, you're going to see this number here. These are going to pretty much be the numbers of what's going on, how many people got infected, and how many people have recovered, and how many people have died. Right now, today, we 30 days in, and we at 23,000. I'm sorry, we're 6 weeks in. Today is the 13th, well, the 14th now, but 6 weeks in, here we go. We only at 23,000. That's why they changed that number. Because they're right. When the summer comes, which is right around the corner, Corona's gonna subside to damn near nothing. And then it'll more than likely pick up a little bit or get a slight uptick in the fall when it gets closer to like around the October time. Worldwide, almost 2 million. 500,000 have recovered and 120,000 are dead. So you know what that's leaving? About 1.4 million motherfuckers that's still around going through it. Based on these numbers, if roughly 120,000 are dying per 2 million that are infected, that's like 5% or a little bit over. Worldwide. We ain't talking about us because it's only like 3%, 3 or 4% for us. Look at that. That's some shit, ain't it? Facts. These are just numbers. All the Trump shit you want to talk, all the government, just look at the numbers. 2019 novel coronavirus compared to other viruses. Let's look at that. Here's Ebola back in 1976. And this is barring H1N1. This is Ebola 1976. 33,000 cases. 13,000 deaths. That's a 40% fatality rate in only 9 countries. Now look at this motherfucker here. Nipah, 1998. 513 cases. Damn near 400 died. 77.6% fatality. 2 countries. That's some deadly shit right there, ain't it? 2002, SARS. Y'all remember that shit, right? SARS stands for South Asian respiratory syndrome. Yeah, South Asian respiratory system. 2002, 8,000 cases. Only 774 deaths. 9.6 fatality rate. Number of countries, 29. Crazy, ain't it? Wow. MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory System. And that single dot means as of November of 2019, because what did we say? The shit don't go all the way the fuck away. MERS is still around. It's just not an epidemic or at a pandemic level. 2012. That's 8 years ago. 2,494, so about 2,500 cases. 858 deaths. A 34.4% fatality rate in 28 countries. Now, let's go on down to COVID-19. COVID-19 2020. Right now, today, worldwide, as of April 10th, 2000, that's what these two asterisks mean. As of April 10th, 2020, you can read it right there at the bottom, 3:25 Eastern Time PM. 1.6 million cases, almost 1.7 million cases. What did you say 1.6 million? 1,677,256 cases. Deaths, 101,732 deaths. 6% fatality rate. 6% fatality rate. 185 countries. Now, in all fairness, because this is worldwide numbers, could motherfucking China be lying about their numbers? Could be. Could Italy be lying about their numbers? Could be. Possible. I wouldn't be facetious enough to just say, no, they telling the truth. China's some lying motherfuckers. But let's just say, for instance, if they off and we double that. Let's say it's 12%. Let's say it's 200,000. It's 12%. If you double that number. 185 countries. This shit is damn near everywhere. Look at the fatality rate. It's not a lot of people dying from this shit, y'all. I'm just saying. Yes, is it terrible? Yup. Is it taking motherfuckers out? Taking them down to their knees? Breaking them down? Yes. But are motherfuckers dying from this shit? Not so much. Not so much. And that's cold, hard facts. Numbers don't lie. Now, niggas who report numbers may lie, but these numbers don't lie. And the margin is so small, even if you kind of put them together a little bit and kind of skew them a little bit, those numbers still ain't crazy. Look at this. African Americans hit hard by coronavirus. 33% of those hospitalized are African Americans. This is in Chicago. 33% of those hospitalized are African American. 13% of the U.S. population is African American. 68% of coronavirus deaths in Chicago were African Americans. That's niggas not taking care of themselves, man. That's niggas not taking care. We have got to take better care of ourselves. If you, and let me challenge you with this. If you have not been to the doctor in the last 6 months, if you haven't been to get a physical in the past 6 months, go get a physical. And I ain't talking about just going to some bullshit ass Dr. Chin clinic. Shout out to Dr. Chin in Roseland. You have medical advice, have medical care, motherfucker. You just saying. But go to the doctor and have them not only give you a physical, but have them do a blood workup too. That means they draw blood and they run basic panel tests against the blood that they draw. They check you for all kind of shit. They give you they should give you not a long, but they give you a questionnaire to tell you all the shit you had, all the shit people in your family have had, and they put together a medical file for you. If you have not had that done, go do it, y'all. After this shit is over, go get it done, man. Because a lot of times you can catch some shit before it get out of hand, and it can add 5, 10, 15, 20 years onto your life. Or it could add 2 years to your life because you caught it at this point. Had you waited, you just would have not woke up one morning. And I know it's scary for a lot of brothers. I know it's scary for a lot of women too. You don't want to go and find out you got some shit. But with the way medicine is here, a lot of shit can be managed, and a lot of shit in some cases can even be cured to where, hey, if you eat right, you take this and you do that, you won't have that problem no more. Just like motherfuckers who get gout. You stop eating this particular food, stop eating that particular food, you take this and you take that, you'll be good. Get your prostate checked. And I feel, brothers, I feel y'all on that one. That's why I got a female doctor. I've had a female doctor. I changed after I moved from Chicago. I said, because I got to get my prostate fingered. I'd be damned if I have a dude stick a finger up my ass. Nope. Unless you the last doctor on earth. Damn that. KB says those numbers are false. Never believe the white media. That's common sense. Then tell me what numbers are true. KB, tell me what numbers are true. I don't understand why niggas always do this shit. You hear something and because you don't like it or you don't agree with it, them ain't the real numbers. Them numbers ain't real. Motherfuckers get numbers from the Department of Justice. Motherfuckers get numbers from the FBI. Motherfuckers get numbers from the CDC. And niggas don't want to acknowledge them numbers. Are these numbers perfect? Nope. Are some of them off? No, probably, yeah. But goddamn it, it's at least in the ballpark. And if they are wrong, what does that have to do with the point of niggas not going to the doctor? KB? If this shit points out anything, it should be pointing out that. Because if niggas was going to the doctor, it wouldn't be 68% of these niggas dying from this shit. If niggas wasn't having kids on top of kids, living a broke, ghetto-ass life, they would have better access to health care. They would be in better environments. They wouldn't be breathing in fucking rain and fucking road spray and boric acid and all that kind of fuck shit. The shit that the goddamn Orkin man is leaving around. They wouldn't have to breathe in all the fucking blunt smoke, all the fucking cigarette smoke that motherfucking granny, auntie, sis, brother, cousin, uncle, partner, best friend be motherfucking breathing, and these kids would be better off. How about them numbers? How about the numbers of niggas doing fuck shit to other niggas? How about the numbers of, it was something that happened in Chicago, was it last weekend before last? 20 niggas shot, 7 dead during a motherfucking shelter in place. How the fuck does that happen? What about them numbers? Them numbers false? 20 niggas shot, 7 dead in a weekend? What you gonna say about them numbers? Come on, man. Niggas always trying to sidetrack the fucking truth and the point to be made with something that don't mean shit. Now check this one out. This is the Wuhan coronavirus compared to other major viruses. So you look at this shit over the years. Year identified, 1967 for Marburg. Ebola, 1976. Hendra, 1994. H5N1, bird flu, 1997. Nipah, we already talked about that one, 1998. SARS, 2002. H1N1, 2009. You see them cases? MERS, 2012. H7N9, bird flu, 2013. 2019 N COVID. That's what is that N for? Is that novel? Novel COVID. 2020. 11. Now, let's look at this. This is as of January 31st, 2020. This one up here for H1N1 is only for the year 2009 to 2010. And then MERS is as of November of 2019. So remember what I said before about viruses never completely go away. They're never just cured. The motherfuckers hang around. They're just in small ass numbers. Like Hendra, 1994, 7 documented cases, 4 deaths. Fatality rate 57%, over half. Number of countries it was in, 1. You feel me? But look at this. And this is where I go and I talk about this is where I make the point of just saying, when you look at things in perspective, you talking about 2009, which is when Black Jesus was in office. Everybody talked about, see, when Barack and them was in office, they handled shit a lot smoother than the way Trump is, man. There was shit in place. There was still the CDC, shit like that was in place, bro. Motherfuckers wasn't dying and shit like niggas dying over corona now, bro. That's some bullshit, man. These sources from the white numbers. The white numbers here say CDC, the United Nations, the World Health Organization, New England Journal of Medicine, excuse me, Malaysian Journal of Pathology, the CGTN, I don't know what the fuck that means, Johns Hopkins University, the Lancet, and Rutgers, and the CIDRAP. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I know what these other motherfuckers are. So out of all of these motherfucking groups, I would pretty much imagine and surmise the fact that these numbers are pretty much in the ballpark of what they actually are. I don't think that they just over-exaggerated this. And you see what that little thing there means? Anybody know what that little sign there means? Look at that little sign. It look like a little alligator like this. Anybody know what that means? I'll wait. But look at these cases. 762,630,000 cases. How many died? 284,500. In perspective, though, 0.2%. 0.02%. Number of countries it was in? 214. Yes, that's greater than. Thank you, Seventh Dragon. Greater than, Rich. Let me tell you something, Rich. I used to always get that shit mixed up until my teacher taught me about the alligators. Yeah, man. Greater than. Greater than. Greater than. The alligator means it's always chomping more if it's away from the number. If it's greater than, it means it's chomping more. It's bigger than. Do you see that? And that's from 1 year. It was a bad outbreak of it, and the shit went rampant. My point to this, because H1N1 wasn't Obama's fault. I'm not one of these dumbasses that will say, since y'all blamed it on Trump, I'm going to blame this on Obama. No. My point to be made was this. Them motherfuckers couldn't have been prepared for that. There was no way possible that they could have been prepared for that type of fallout to say we gonna lose 284,000 motherfuckers worldwide. Nope. You can't prepare for that. You don't know how bad the shit is going to be. The other part to that is, how come that wasn't considered a pandemic? How come that wasn't considered a pandemic? Well, motherfuckers wasn't calling shit pandemics back then. Bullshit. Bird flu, pandemic. Spanish flu, not bird flu, but Spanish flu, pandemic. Motherfuckers knew what that word was. I'm going to tell you why I believe that they didn't. Because they didn't want to do this. This is what a pandemic looks like in America. This is what it looks like. Now, you think back to when Obama was in office in 2009? What was going on in 2009, y'all? Anybody remember? Anybody remember what was going on? Does anybody remember what was going on in 2009? Yes, Rich, thank you. You 1 for 1 now. We were in a recession. We were in a recession in 2009. You know what? It could have been Ebola, but it wasn't as big as this H1N1 shit was. But yes, we were in a recession. So that means niggas wasn't working. Gas was higher than a motherfucker. Niggas was on TV talking about the rent's too damn high. We got to get rid of the rent. The rent's too damn high. And niggas got a $300 stimulus check. Y'all remember that shit? Got that stimulus check for that too, right? $300. But just think about that. Imagine if we would have did a shelter in place during 2009 during the recession. You know why they didn't do it? Because it would have led probably to civil unrest. Niggas was already on the edge of their seat. People were committing suicide. People were walking away from their homes. It was terrible. It was terrible. And people would have then turned around and said, I got to stay in the house now too. I can't work from home because I ain't got no job, motherfucker. Just saying. Just saying. I ain't getting no $1,000. I got $300. Goddamn George Bush hit me up with a $300 piece. That was it. So just putting this shit in perspective. I think it's one more slide I get. I want to say it's one more slide. But just think, that's why I believe that they didn't do this shit now. Because it would have been bad. If they would have called people that's blaming Trump and blaming the Republicans and all that shit, if they would have called a shelter in place back when they first found out about this, does anybody know when we first found out about this motherfucking shit? The corona? You know when we first found out about it? When it actually first hit here in the States? It was in October. It was in October. Dude, he said, I got a Baconator and a promise. You right. It was in October when that shit hit. And when that shit hit in October, look it up. First motherfucking case of that shit was in October, maybe November, first part or whatever. But imagine if we would have did a shelter in place for Thanksgiving or for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Imagine what that shit would have been like for us. Niggas would have lost their mind. Shelter in place, y'all. We trying to prevent this. We want to make sure that we motherfuckers would have lost their minds. I went to Memphis for Thanksgiving. Motherfucker wouldn't have told me, no, I can't go. What? Man, I'd have been mad than a motherfucker. The busiest traveling times of the year. Motherfuckers take the most flights for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Imagine if it would have been, nah, stay your ass at home. Ain't no flights going out. The fourth quarter financials would have stunk to high heaven. Imagine what it would have been like to Christmas shop with social distancing. Imagine the stores, the restaurants that would have closed because of COVID-19, the coronavirus transmission. And think back to the people that you may have known that had that cold or that cough that they couldn't shake for weeks at a time. Think about the people that died from pneumonia and they didn't really know why they couldn't get rid of this cough. Why they told them, oh, it's a bacterial infection, or it's a sinus infection, or you got bronchitis. Think about that shit. I clearly know for a fact my wife had that shit back back around that time. She couldn't taste shit. She couldn't breathe. She had to go in and they told her, oh yeah, it was some type of sinus infection or some shit, or bronchitis or some shit like that. Gave her some antibiotics. She was good, but she couldn't shake that shit for the longest time. Just saying. So when you comparing this shit to other fucking viruses and shit, what does this shit say? Look at these numbers here. And what does it say? H1N1 was started in the USA. Little efforts were made by the USA to stop the spread of the virus. It killed 284,500 worldwide and affected 214 countries. There was no mention by the Western media that H1N1 is an American pandemic virus. Compare this to the efforts of China to contain the Wuhan virus. Now, this is some Asian motherfucking perspective that they gave out, but look at that shit. Look at them numbers. And could China be on some bullshit? Could be. That ain't none of our business. Could China be on some fuck shit? Probably. But we need to be concerned about the motherfuckers that was here, and we got to take care of home and all that good shit, America first, all that shit, I'm with it. But look at what it would have cost us. Look at what it's doing to our economy now in the second quarter. Imagine how devastating that would have been in our economy in the fourth quarter, which is the busiest one, the main one that counts, goddammit. All the money gets spent in that fourth quarter. From Halloween to New Year's, that's when that bread is flowing. We spend the most money. Motherfuckers max credit cards and all kind of shit during that time. And the economy counts on that shit. So keep that shit in mind to all you motherfuckers that want to blame Trump and say it's Trump's fault. They didn't act on time and they could have did this a different. No, the fuck they couldn't, because don't nobody want Christmas canceled. Don't nobody want Thanksgiving canceled. Don't nobody want New Year's canceled. And that's the thing about to politicians, they to their point, yeah, it's a bit of it is protecting motherfuckers from the harsh realities of what could be. And when you're weighing what could be to what actually is, and in between that is what a bunch of what? I don't fucking know. And when you don't know, what you gonna do? I'm gonna try to do what's best for the whole, which is to let this shit fly until we find out. All right, y'all, it's fucking February, and this shit is over here. We got a lot of motherfuckers getting this shit. Let's put this shit in place. Let's lock it down. Or maybe there is a thing to where we say the government is conspiring against us to motherfucking lock us down so they can do all kind of fuck shit while we're in our homes, keeping us scared, got us motherfucking in unemployment, making us desperate. They could be doing that shit. And that's what we should be the main ones asking for checks and balances. Why the fuck ain't motherfuckers calling they goddamn congressmen, they goddamn house reps, they state reps, and all they governors and all this shit after another 2 weeks go by and we still on the motherfucking shelter in place? If by the end of this month we still on shelter in place and these numbers ain't fucking quadrupled, government full of shit. I'm just saying. If these numbers ain't quadrupled, if hospitals ain't overran and all that shit they was talking about was gonna happen, ain't happen in 2 weeks, they full of shit. They done did the underlay for the overlay for the underlay. They done held this bullshit over us so that they can sneak this shit right up under us. So just keep that shit in mind. Be smart. Do what's best for you first and foremost, which is what? Taking your punk ass to the doctor on a regular basis. Getting checkups. Finding out what's going on with your body. Finding out what's happening. Women, take your ass to the gynecologist. Take your ass to the dentist. Men, take your ass to your primary care physician. Take your ass to the dentist. Something ain't feeling right. Something ain't working right. Something don't look right. Go get the shit looked at and stop just going to these hole-in-the-wall, ghetto-ass, half-ass healthcare clinics. That's a last resort. Get your ass a good job so you can get some good insurance so you can go to a good goddamn doctor who works at a good goddamn hospital. The best doctors work at the best facilities. The motherfucking facilities that got the most money, the most finances, they got the best equipment, they attract the best doctors. That's a fact. That's a good general rule. Well, which hospital should I go to? Go to the best one. The ritziest, ditziest, fanciest, smanciest motherfucker in hospital in your area, in your city, is usually the one that got the best doctors in it. Find out where the president go if he gets shot. Know that hospital. The president gets shot. This is the hospital you go to here. Oh, okay. That's it. So all I'm saying is this, to wrap this up. I don't have all the answers, but I do have some information. And these numbers, they may not be black numbers, or these are just the white numbers now. Like Mr. KB said, these are the white numbers. But the fact of the matter is, these numbers are in a ballpark to where they should be questioned. That's my point. That was my whole point of this. Everybody who sees this, who's watching this, you should have a side eye, a raised eyebrow. Your spidey sense should be tingling. Your loose nigga sense should be tingling to where you're wondering, well, wait a minute. If we're this far off, why are we still doing this? If we're this far off, why are they telling us that? That's what you need to be saying. You need to be questioning this. So when they tell you some fuck shit like we gonna self-quarantine and we gonna shelter in place until June, you better be like, time to fuck up. Time to fuck out. Hold the fuck up. Motherfucker, these numbers ain't even close to being on a pandemic level. Y'all talking about putting us in the house till June? Fuck you mean, shawty? Fuck you talking about? That's what we need to be saying. If by the end of April, they not like, hey, we open the shit back up, y'all go ahead, get y'all bastards back out there in them streets, keep your shit covered up and do what you do, but shit is open again, you better start wondering what the fuck is going on. Because the overlay for the underlay is in progress. Yeah, Ree, that's the shit. Everybody that dies, then died of the Rona. Bullshit. If you know they documenting the shit falsely, or it's sketchy to say the least, and you know that the hospitals ain't being overran like they said, if you see the numbers of people that have caught this shit versus the people that have died from this shit, and that fatality rate is at a 6%, then don't tell me I need to be the fuck in the house when more motherfuckers die from suicide, more motherfuckers die from diabetes, more motherfuckers dying from cancer, and more motherfuckers are dying from the flu and what's the other shit? The pneumonia, as my nephew Malcolm would say, the pneumonia. Then don't tell me that this is a pandemic and I need to stay my ass in the house. I tell you what, say that shit again, and I bet you I won't vote for your ass. You're not going to vote for me because of it? Yep. Vote for this motherfucking shelter in place one more again and see what the fuck we do with our votes. I bet you the motherfuckers will change their tune then. See? What Lewis is saying, I don't know if that's true or not, but he says for every corona victim that hospitals report, the hospital gets like $10,000 in federal funds. Could be, and that would be the overlay for the underlay. That's what I'm saying. So you got to keep this shit in mind. Question everything. And especially those things that show you that they need to be questioned. That's all I'm saying. And this shit here, I ain't saying that coronavirus don't exist. I'm not saying that shit ain't real. I'm not saying that black people, the only ones that's getting it. I'm not saying black people can't get it. I'm not saying that shit. What I'm saying is this shit here is not the way that it's looking. In 2 weeks, it'll let you know if it's a pandemic or not. And if it's not, then you need to be questioning, why the fuck are y'all still trying to keep me in the house like it is a pandemic when it ain't? Just be ready for that now. Don't wait until the 30th and then start thinking, maybe, I'm not sure. Start thinking about that shit now. And that's all I have to say about that. Let me give a shout out to my man for my donations. My man Wesley Bethia hit your boy up with a why does it do that? With a hot $2. He says just putting in those twos and fews in the plate. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that. Also want to give a shout out to Lanisha Lewis. Hit your boy off with $10. Thank you so much for your donation. Also want to give a shout out to MG Michelle Glass. I saw one of those videos, but I saw it was a lot to it, so I didn't want to sidetrack the show because it'll probably add another hour to watch it, and I hadn't seen it before. So that's the only reason why I didn't. But thanks for sending it to me. I'll check it out. And if it deems to be like another show needs to be done on it, then we can do that. And KB, now that's something that makes sense. It could be a plandemic. But saying that them numbers ain't right because they white, boy, I can't do that. It could be an attack, Miss June Bennett, from China. We don't know. Fact of the matter is that we're here now dealing with it. And we need to be watching what our politicians are doing. We need to be watching what our medical people are doing. Because we're the ones that's catching the shit, passing the shit along, and trying to avoid the shit altogether. That's what we need to be worried about, as opposed to trying to say it's Trump's fault. As opposed to just trying to say, oh, this China that did this to us. We need to be looking at what's the clear and present danger that we have facing us right now at this moment. And it shouldn't be, well, if everybody just stay in the house, we'll be all right. People on Bill Gates' ass about it. Hey, I ain't seen that on Instagram. If it's warranted, there it is. If it were planned, it would be a lot worse. It could be one of those things where you just let shit happen so that you can have the fallout, because when people get scared, people will do anything. Just like 9/11. You can't tell me our government who know every goddamn thing didn't know shit about these motherfucking Arabs learning how to fly these planes. For what fucking reason? And what happened? Them towers went down. Homeland Security got started, and the Patriot Act, and that other fucking act that Obama signed, all got signed, and there you go. We done gave up a lot of our freedoms. A lot of our privacy was given up without question. Hear that. Without question. We didn't balk at that shit. We was like, okay, yeah, let's do what you need. Okay, yeah, let's do what you need. Yeah, Air Marshal, I like that. Guys with guns on planes from here on out. Yep, let's do it. It could be 8 Air Marshals in the motherfucking skies, and you don't even know it. That's all we got. We wouldn't even know the shit. But what do we do? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it just to make us safe. Yeah, I'll take off my shoes, take off my socks, I'll stand in line and take me another 3 hours to get to the airport before my flight just so I can be safe. We'll do it. We will do it. All right, let me check out PayPal and then we out of here. Alrighty. Hey, we got quite a few in here tonight. All right. Shout out to my man, Brass Man Taker. As always, thank you for your donation, good sir. Thank you. My man Bolo, he says, for the informative content, we need more of this. Salute to you, Bolo. Hit your boy off with $1. My man Brass Man Taker, hit your boy off with $5. That's what's up. Took the $5 challenge. Shout out to my man Rich. He said, thanks for another great show. Hit your boy off with $5. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your support. April Jones, what's up? Thank you so much for yours. She hit me up when she said, hey, live. Hit me up with $5 as well. Thank you. My man Billy Goat Gruff, what's up, brother? Appreciate it. He said $5. I wish it could be more. Hey, man, I appreciate the $5, Doc. Thank you. Also, my man Cool G74 hit your boy off with $5 as well. Them cool cigarettes. Yeah, buddy. Also, to my man Angry Man, hit your boy off with $4. Thank you so much, sir. And last but not least, my man Troy Sherman hit your boy off with $1. That's what's up. Hey, guys, thank you so much. If you're watching this on the replay, please click the like. Please click the share. And if you have not subscribed, something wrong with you. Subscribe right now. Click that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And hey, if you haven't signed up for the United Guns of America, go check it out. The United Guns of America is my gun channel. Subscribe there as well. And remember, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Yes, I did, Michelle. I shouted you out. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You must have been falling asleep. That's why you didn't hear what I had said. But yes, I did get your donation as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You all have a great night. I am getting ready to go maybe play me about 30 minutes or so of Call of Duty, or I might not even do that. Eat me a little something. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the input for tonight. Thank you so much for the donations, and thank you for spending just a little bit of time with me. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but chose to be here with me. And like Jay-Z said, I appreciate that. H to the is O, G to the is A. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace, and I'm out.